Almost everybody has PowerPoint installed on your computer right now, but a lot of people don't realize that there's actually a built-in recorder in PowerPoint for you to add your voiceovers. There's actually a couple of different ways to do this, and when I deliver voiceovers, usually it's just I deliver a regular file and then they take it from there. But every now and then I have a client, which I'm working with one just like that today, who requires that I put the voiceover right into the PowerPoint presentation itself. So by the end of this video, you're going to learn how to add voiceovers to your PowerPoint presentation, whether or not you're a business professional, a medical professional, you're going to be giving a talk of some sort, and you want to add those voiceovers for a more professional look. All right, before we get into the full process, as a voice actor, I want to give you a couple of quick tips that'll actually make your voiceover sound much better when you do this. The first is if you're using a microphone, an external microphone, talk past the microphone. Never talk directly into the microphone. If you talk directly into the microphone, it tends to get distorted sometimes and gives what we call sibilants or plosives, which makes the recording sound a little bit less professional. The second is record for a couple of seconds before you actually start to speak. This will give a little bit of a buffer before you can actually get into the recording, and it will help your recordings hopefully not get cut off and, once again, sound more professional. And if you're new here, my name is Mike Hathcote. I'm a full-time voice actor, and I run the Voiceover Blueprint YouTube channel, where our goal is to give up-and-coming voice actors tips and tricks to help grow and sustain their voiceover career. And if you might be interested in voiceover, then we're having a free webinar coming up this Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, where we're going to cover the entire voiceover industry, how to get started, and answer your questions live on the call. And just for showing up, you're also going to get a copy of my book, The Voiceover Blueprint, which is you'll get the audiobook as well as the digital version of that book, plus 4 free gifts. So just hit that link below to sign up, absolutely free. And now let's get into some PowerPoint. Okay, one last thing. There are a few mistakes that a lot of people make when they are recording into PowerPoint. The first is recording without a plan. Don't just try to wing it. Unless it's a very short sentence and you know it off the top of your head, go ahead and write down something on paper or, on a Word document so that you can read it verbatim. And once again, it'll sound more pro when you do that. The next mistake is ignoring audio quality. If you record in a noisy area with just a built-in microphone on a laptop, it might not sound as good as if you were able to move to a quieter space and an actual plug-in microphone, whether it be a USB microphone or an XLR microphone. Just don't ignore those things, because you would be amazed at how much better your microphone is going to sound, whether it's a built-in or an external mic, if it's in a quieter space. You don't need a big fancy studio like the one that I'm in here to make it sound professional. The last mistake is exporting the file once you're done incorrectly. You want to preserve the audio quality, so I'll show you exactly how to do that to make sure that whoever you're sending it to gets the best version of what you're recording. Okay, now we're going to hop over to PowerPoint, and I'm going to take you step by step through the different ways that you can record audio into your PowerPoint presentation. All right, here we are in PowerPoint, and this is a project that I'm working on for a dermatologic laser safety information e-learning or PowerPoint, and they asked me to put the recordings directly into the PowerPoint presentation itself versus sending them a bunch of files, so I'm happy to do that. So the first thing you're going to do in PowerPoint is you're going to go up here to the menu, and the next tab over from Home is Insert. So we're going to click on Insert, and then way over here to the right, you're going to see Video and Audio. We want to select Audio. And the first way to add the voiceover to the PowerPoint presentation is we're going to click Audio and go to Audio from File. So this is if you've already recorded your audio in some other, DAW, like a digital audio workspace, like Adobe Audition or even GarageBand or any of the DAWs or recording software out there. You can import that file directly into your PowerPoint presentation. So in this case, I'll just click it, and you can browse for it. I believe I have these in here called laser slides, laser safety. There it is. I don't know what happened there. So we're going to insert that. And as you can see here, it actually puts a little file with a play button and, volume button and a skip and a little play icon here, where you can actually move this around anywhere on the slide that you want instead of just right in the middle. Let's say you wanted to put it, down here just to let people know that this slide does have audio. You can put it down there. Maybe you can make the button here bigger or smaller. You can kind of grab these little handles and make it smaller, bigger. And that will let people know that you've got a playable piece of audio on each file. So that is the first way to do it. Okay, now I want to talk about the second way to add a voiceover to a PowerPoint, and that is to record directly into PowerPoint. A lot of people don't know that you can do that and record directly into it, and it actually gives you some options to edit that recording once you're done. So first thing I'm going to do is go back up here to the top index, and I'm going to click on Insert again, jump back over to Audio, and then you'll see here it says Record Audio. So I'm going to click Record Audio, and you'll see I get this little record button over to the right. Now down here in the Notes section is what I need to record. So I'm going to actually move this up so you can see it a little better. But this is just a single sentence, so I'm not worried about, a long paragraph that I have to get in one take. But even if you do make a mistake, there are ways to edit. So I'll show you that in just a second. But for now, let's go ahead and try to record this. So all I need to do is go up here to the record button, click record. In this section, we will discuss laser safety regulatory agencies and organizations. And click stop. Now, if you made a mistake and you want to discard that, you can. You just by hitting the discard button. Or if you want to go ahead and insert it, now even though I made a mistake, I'm going to go ahead and insert that because we can fix it later. So I'm going to go ahead and hit insert. And there it is. You can see it's right there. I'm going to go ahead and blow this back up again. So once again, you can move this around wherever you want, but you can also edit. So if I double click that, you'll see that I've got audio format and playback up here. So you can change things about, the layout and where things are. So I'm going to go over here to playback though, and this is where you can edit. So if you go up here to trim audio, it will actually give you this little editor here. So here's where I made that first mistake. So let's play it. In this section, we will focus right? So then now I'll take this and I'll slide this. This is very similar to like how you edit something on like a phone. You can just take the ends, close it up a little bit. In this section, we will discuss laser safety regulatory agencies and organizations. All right, so we've got it down to the length that we want. And we're going to trim. And now that's going to be a shorter file there. But you can also add captions. You can, definitely play around with some of this stuff. You can have it loop until it is stopped. There's lots of different settings here. You can fade in, fade out. Now, this isn't as robust as a professional voiceover recording software, but this definitely gives you the basics on how to edit. You can even control the volume right here. So right now it's on high. There's medium and low. You can add music. Whatever you need to do to make your PowerPoint, look and sound more professional. Now, another thing I want to show you here real quick is that let's say you want these files to play automatically when people click to the next slide. So you can do that by going up here to the Start option here, and then in the drop-down, click Automatically. Right now we have it, in click sequence and when clicked on. But if you put on Automatically, every time someone goes to the next slide, the slide will start to play the sound. Okay, now I want to show you how to go in and save the file. And there's a few ways to do that. You can either export it or you can save it. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to just save it as a regular PowerPoint. So you're going to go up here to File, and then just go Save As. And then from the drop down, actually it's already selected here, PowerPoint Presentation. So it's going to be a .pptx. So if that's the way you want to save it, you can just save it and then send it to someone, and then they will open it up into edit version, just like what you're seeing here. Okay, the next way I want to show you how to export this is as an MP4, which is basically just a video file. So when someone opens it, it'll just play like a video. So to do that, you're going to go up here to File again. You're going to go to Export. Then you're going to go to the drop down here, and you can export it as an MP4, which is the most common, or you can export it as a MOV, or any of these other ones here, but those are the two that you're probably most likely going to use to have this play as a video. And that's it. Pretty simple, right? So now you know how to record a voiceover straight into PowerPoint or upload your own recording off of your computer into PowerPoint as well. You also know how to edit your voice recording in PowerPoint and make sure that you get the most professional sounding recording as possible, as well as how to export it in multiple different formats so you can share it with those who need it. And another quick reminder about that webinar coming up Tuesday night, talking about the voiceover industry. If you're interested in becoming a voice actor, then feel free to sign up for that. Absolutely free of charge. Plus, you're going to get the copy of the book, The Voiceover Blueprint, just for signing up. And hope to see you there. So I hope this video has helped you learn how to go from just a regular bland PowerPoint presentation to something more powerful. That's it for me. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. If you like this kind of content, feel free to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And of course, if you have a comment, feel free to drop a comment down below. I do read and respond to all comments. And since I talked about some recording software for voiceovers instead of recording directly into the system, I made a complete video comparing all the most popular voice recording software out there. And if you want to check that out, check this out.